The funeral director had just handed me a box of tissues when the doors opened. I assumed it was more neighbors, more coworkers, more people coming to pay their respects to my husband of 26 years. But when I turned around, I didn't recognize a single face. A woman, mid-40s, well-dressed, 2 teenagers beside her, a boy and a girl. She walked straight toward the casket like she had every right to be there. And then she placed her hand on the wood, gently, the way you touch something that belongs to you, and she whispered something I couldn't hear. My sister grabbed my arm. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak, because the boy standing next to that woman, he had my husband's eyes, the exact same eyes. And in that moment, the 26 years I thought I knew collapsed into something I didn't have a word for yet. My name is Carol. I'm 61 years old. I live in a small town in Ohio. And until 8 months ago, I believed I had a good marriage. Not a perfect one. No marriage is perfect. But a solid one, a real one. My husband Richard and I met in 1989 at a church picnic. He was 27, I was 25. He had a crooked smile, and he brought me lemonade without me asking. We married in 1997, raised 2 children, our son Daniel, now 34, and our daughter Patricia, now 31. Richard worked in regional sales. He traveled, sometimes a lot, 3-4 days a week some months. I never questioned it. He was a provider, a good father when he was home. He coached Daniel's Little League team. He walked Patricia down the aisle. He was mine, and I was his. Or so I believed. Richard died of a heart attack last March. Sudden. No warning. He was 59 years old. One morning, he was drinking coffee at our kitchen table. By afternoon, he was gone. And 3 days later, at his funeral, a woman I had never seen in my life walked through those doors with 2 children who shared his face. I didn't approach her right away. My sister, Margaret, did. God bless her. Margaret has never been afraid of anything. She walked straight up to that woman and said, very quietly, "Excuse me, who are you?" The woman looked at Margaret. Then she looked at me across the room, and she said, "My name is Diane. Richard was my husband." The room didn't go quiet. The room was already quiet, but something shifted, like the air changed temperature. Margaret came back to me. She took both my hands, and she said, "Carol, we need to step outside." I don't remember walking out. I remember the cold. It was March, and the ground still had patches of ice. I remember staring at a crack in the parking lot pavement because I couldn't look up. Diane followed us out, and standing in that cold parking lot 3 days after I buried my husband, she told me everything. She and Richard had been together for 19 years. 19 years. Their son was 17. Their daughter was 15. She lived 4 hours away, in a suburb of Pittsburgh. She thought he was his wife. She had no idea I existed either. Here is what I have learned in the 8 months since that parking lot conversation. Richard had 2 complete lives. Not a casual affair, not a mistake. 2 full, parallel lives, maintained with terrifying precision for nearly 2 decades. He had a separate phone, a separate email address, a separate bank account I never knew about. He told Diane he traveled for work too. Same lie, different woman, same crooked smile, I imagine. Their children called him Dad. He was at their school plays, their birthdays, their first days of school, while he was also at ours. I have since done the math, the horrible, nauseating math of how he divided his time, and I cannot tell you how he managed it. I genuinely cannot tell you. What I can tell you is that Diane and I have now spoken 4 times. Long, difficult phone calls that leave us both exhausted. We are not friends. I don't know what we are. But we are the only 2 people on earth who understand what the other one is living through. Her children lost a father. My children lost a father. And both of us lost a man we thought we knew. My son Daniel did not take it well. He went silent for 2 weeks, completely silent. Wouldn't answer calls, wouldn't come to dinner. When he finally came over, he sat at the same kitchen table where his father used to drink his coffee, and he said, "Mom, how did you not know?" It wasn't an accusation. I could hear that, but it landed like one. How did I not know? I have asked myself that question every single day. The answer, the honest answer, is that I trusted him completely, and he used that trust like a tool. My daughter Patricia has handled it differently. Patricia went looking for answers. She went through every credit card statement, every phone record she could access, every document in Richard's home office. She's the one who found the second life insurance policy. Richard had taken out a separate policy, $200,000, with Diane listed as the sole beneficiary. He had also listed her children in a will amendment we never knew existed. I'll let that sit with you for a moment. I want to stop here, because what comes next, what I decided to do, what Diane decided to do, and what we discovered together in the weeks that followed, that is a story that deserves its own chapter. In part 2, I'll tell you about the third woman. Yes, you heard that correctly. There was a third. And I'll tell you what happened with the insurance policy, what my children did when they found out, and the one conversation I had with Richard's mother that answered questions I had been carrying for 26 years. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you, truly. Hit the subscribe button so part 2 comes straight to you, because trust me, you will want to hear how this ends.